Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be doing a bit of a review on the SuperPro Easy Lift Kit today. So before I start any of that, we're going to do something that SuperPro recommend, which is after 1,000 kilometers of driving on the kit, you should go around, just double check all your bolts are still tight and make sure everything's, I guess, where it should be and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to start out by doing that, and later on I'll give you guys a bit of a spiel about what I think about the kit and my true opinions on it. This is also going to be day one of this video, so tomorrow we're going to be furthering this video. A couple of the boys and I are actually going to be going out to the bush and we're going to be testing out the kit, seeing how it goes on some of the tracks and getting some footage for you guys, as well as having a pretty fun Sunday. So first of all, let's go through, make sure all this kit's tightened. Again, it's mirror image for the whole car, so we're going to start with the front, move to the back. I'll do the other sides. It's pretty simple. If you guys saw the last video, you know exactly what I'm going around and tightening up. If you haven't seen that, it'll be up the top for you, whichever side. Don't know which side it's going to be, but I highly recommend you check that video out before watching this one. That goes into how I actually installed the kit and stuff, and then this is more of a tune-up. Make sure it's all sweet, and then tomorrow we'll have a bit of fun on it. So first things first, we're going to get the car off the ground and take the wheel off. I've sit it under there for a bit of safety. You got a stand and the jack. We're going to come through and tighten all the bolts. So if you guys don't remember from the last video, we need to go and tune up the top bolts up here that are holding the whole strut in, as well as the bottom one for it. We're going to do these four here because I took them off. We're going to make sure that's all good. We're going to make sure this one's all good. This is the brake line. No, sorry, this is the speed sensor and this is the brake line. And then we're going to make sure the lower control arm down the bottom there is what I played with. So we're going to make sure that's all good. I didn't touch this side, but on the other side we're going to make sure the steering rack is how it should be, all nice and tight and all that good stuff. So basically it's a really simple tune-up. It shouldn't really take too long because it's pretty tight as it is. We'll make sure nothing's loose or anything, and then we can go have some fun tomorrow on it. Alright, we're going to start at the top where there are three 14mm bolts holding in the top of the strut. So we just got a ratchet spanner. We're just going to make sure they're all good, which that's tight as. Next up is these four bolts here with the upper control arm. Now we removed them. We didn't touch any of this ball joint or anything like that. There's a bolt going through and then a nut on the bottom. So I've just got my socket here on tightening up on clockwise, and basically we're just going to make sure they're nice and tight, and as you can see the top's not spinning, so it's definitely tightening. Alright, up to the brake line now. That's just a 12mm, and oh yeah, that's tight. It's not going anywhere. So that one's all good. Then there's nothing else really holding that in. If you remove this for whatever reason, then obviously check that, but I didn't. So that's all good. We've also got the speed sensor cable here, which I think is a 12 as well. Yep, that's a 12 as well. So that one can do with a bit of a nip up, and that's just all good. Okay, now we've got a few down here. So we also have the speed sensor one here on the back. That's just a little 10mm one. So that, yeah, that's tight as. Alright, next one up we have the sway bar end link. That is a 15mm. You can put a Allen key in the end here, but let's just have a look first. Yeah, I can't even turn it at all, so that's fine. If it's spinning, the actual thread and the whole thing will spin, so all you gotta do is put an Allen key in the end, use an open-ended spanner like this, and hold the Allen key and tighten it up. Then what we're gonna do here is the bottom of the strut as well. That is a 19mm, so we're just gonna whack it on here. Oh, yep, that's not moving as well. So pretty much, that's good news. I've gone around and tightened all the bolts that we removed on this side. I'm going to go do it to the other side as well. Then we're going to have a look at the rear. Alright, on second thoughts, we're going to go around now and do the rear first, and then I'll go do the other side, just because it might get a bit dark soon. The rear should be a lot easier. There's only like maybe, I don't know, like 6 bolts we have to actually do. So basically with the rear, if you didn't see the last video, this is what we're going to do. Now something I realized after doing that video that I didn't show you guys was this here. Now if you remember at the start when I was showing you what's in the kit, there was a little bag of bolts with this spacer. Now basically this is for your brake line. All you have to do is put the spacer and the washer in between I guess just to space it out. I got the missus to help me with that one actually. She sort of held it in place while I tried to thread it in. Now the things we removed off here were the 4 bolts on the bottom of these U-bolts, and then also the bottom bolt for the shock. So pretty much I'm just going to go around, we're going to tighten them, make sure they're all sweet. Nothing else was removed, so that's why this is super simple to do. There's not many bolts involved and we're not removing anything, so we don't have to have the jack under there or anything. As you can see, this hasn't moved, it's still nice and straight. You want to make sure that's straight and not slightly off to one side, because it puts everything out, and that actually says that in the instructions on when installing it as well. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said something along the lines of make sure that's straight because it can do damage. And that one's nice and tight. Don't want to go too crazy on that. You don't want to strip it or break it or anything like that. Alright, next up is the 4 holding the U-bolts in. It's pretty much, that is a 22 mil, and we're just going to go around and double check. Tight. Tight. There's a massive spider near the camera. Jesus Christ. Tight. And, oh, yep. They're not going anywhere. Then we've also got the bottom of the shock bolt up under here. That's a 17 mil, and again, oh, she's sweet. Alright guys, so I've gone around the whole car now. Everything is buttoned up and all tight and everything. The only one that was slightly loose was the passenger's front brake line bolt, but there was only a few turns, so I just nipped that up a little bit and we're all sweet. Now SuperPro recommend tuning up the kit after about 1,000 Ks of driving. I think that's a pretty good idea. That's a fair testament. About 90% of that driving has been highway driving, and the last 10% has just basically been a little bit of 4-wheel driving on the dirt mounds at the property, and also going on Stockton Beach I think a week or 2 ago. So I haven't given it a good 4-wheel driving run, which is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So hopefully we find some good, you know, little rock steps and washouts and little gullies and stuff like that to really test the suspension, see how it works on the track, and see how it really lets it flex, or if it doesn't or pops, you know, all those sorts of things. So my honest opinion of the SuperPro Easy Lift kit is that I really love it. It's a great kit, something that's cheap and easy to do, and it gives you good results. Something I was concerned about when installing this kit is that it might give it a bit more body roll, because we're up that little bit higher, but we're still using the factory suspension and struts and leafs and stuff like that. But honestly, when I had the stock tires on it, I didn't tell any difference. I drove around for about a week with the stock wheels still on. Could not even tell that I'd done the lift kit, apart from kicking my shins every single time I tried to get in on the side step. So it definitely gave it that straightaway 2-inch lift. It got it up off the ground a bit more. You can definitely tell when driving it that you are up that little bit higher. But in terms of body roll and I guess suspension stiffness and stuff like that, you can't tell any difference. It feels the exact same as how it was before with just your stock suspension. So that's a really good thing. Now after putting the tires on, you can definitely tell the road noise because they're muddy, and they were a bit weird to drive, very heavy to drive on. So I went and got my wheels balanced and also got an alignment done, which is what you should do after installing the lift kit or playing with any suspension stuff. So always go get a wheel alignment just in case. But after doing those 2 things, the wheels were back to, I couldn't tell they were there. They weren't heavy at all. So tomorrow's gonna be great. We're gonna really test it out in the bush, and I will give you guys another opinion on how I actually feel it goes in the bush, how it handles and all that sort of thing. But for now, I think I should give you guys a bit of a walk around to see how it actually looks. Now keeping in mind the wheels are on, that lifts it up that tiny bit more, but the car was already lifted like 50 and 40 mil or something. You guys would have seen that in the last video, but I was unable to show you guys the finished product and how it looked because of the fact that I lost all that footage, which really sucks. But anyway, so I'm going to give you guys a bit of a closer walk around to see how it sits now. I'm going to put a photo up right now. This is a photo of basically before I done the kit. This is the stock height and all that sort of thing. So there wasn't much of a wheel gap. We had those skinny as tires on, and now it's a lot better. So when taking a closer look, you can definitely tell the car has been lifted. These big wheels don't really do it justice because they're really filling the gap, but when I had the smaller stock wheels on, it definitely looked like it really jacked it up. These are, I believe, maybe 33s or something, but they really fill the guards properly. I think they look good. It makes it probably look a little bit lower than what it is, but I really like that meaty look. I'm not going for massive off the ground. I just want that little bit more clearance, and the 2-inch lift also helped with fitting these wheels because they would not fit on the stock suspension. They fit pretty nicely in the guards. I think they look good. They're pretty flush. I didn't want to run flares yet, as you knew in the last video. So this is pretty much how the front sits now. You get that bit of lift off the ground, and the tires get that diff off the ground a little bit. The tires may fill the guard a little bit more and shorten the gap between the top of the tire and the guard, but to be honest, the front suspension doesn't move that much. As you can see, we got the spacer block on the top there. Super easy to install, which is always great. Then with the rear, well, it's looking really high at the moment because I think the other side down a little bit, but you can tell that it's definitely been lifted. Before, when I put the wheels on and there was no lift kit on it or anything, the wheel was almost up here, which is pretty bad. So although that is drooping a tiny little bit, it's still a lot more clearance than what it was if I tried to run it with stock height. Same for this side. This is probably more of a good look at what it actually looks like height wise. So it sits pretty nice, and the tires do tuck up under that bar so I can get it all the way up. And the front, again, I think it looks pretty good. So this is a quite quick part 1 of this video. Tomorrow is going to be a lot more fun, and I'm going to have a bit more footage of that in there because that's the good stuff. But this here, I just wanted to go around, give it all a tighten up after that 1000 Ks and show you guys a little bit of what the car looks like now height wise, because I didn't get to show you in the install video. So thanks guys for watching this part of the video. We're going to resume tomorrow, so I'll see you in the morning. Bye guys. Alright, good morning everyone. Now it's probably a bit bumpy at the moment because we're currently entering in at Arimba State Forest. We've got a couple of boys out today. I think there's maybe 6, 7 trucks. 6? I don't know. There's a few trucks. We're going to see how we go. Get a little bit of footage down for you guys. See how this kit really goes in a full driving environment. This is very bumpy, and yeah, it's going to be a good day. So let's put the camera down while I drive up this bit and see how we get when we get to the top. Catch you in a sec. Alright, so we're all out a little bit. Everyone else is currently airing out at the moment. I was right, we had 6 trucks here with us. So we've got a Hilux, we've got a Navara, we've got another Hilux, we've got another Hilux, a Ranger, and the trusty Colorado. So today's going to be a pretty good testament of how good this suspension goes. Hopefully we find some good tracks. We're not out here for too long, so we want to find something quick and have some good fun. Let's get into it. We've got a lot of room this way. You're up. You're up. It's just your bash plate. just have to I'll just try and aim for this. Pretty big rock part.
You're going down there?
Yep, we're gonna do it. It'll be fine.
Don't get stuck. Nearly there. Are you freewheeling?
Yeah, I think so. Exciting. Might need some new pants after that. That was a bit scary, it was tipping. I wonder if it was my bash plate that hit. What was that?
The Big Bang?
Yeah, was that my exhaust?
The Big Bang was your toe ball, I think.
No, but what's great at the end? Oh, it was just toe ball?
Yeah.
Oh.
It just slammed on your toe ball.
Oh, sweet. No worries. I wonder what the first scraping was then. I wonder if it was my front bash plate or something on here maybe. You have a bug on you.
Hey! Oh. There we go.
Alright, so today didn't go quite as planned. We were meant to be out here for maybe 2 or 3 hours just to have a bit of a play, test out the suspension, and everyone else wanted to have a bit of fun. We ended up that first track we went on, you would have seen the mighty Hilux trying to get up that. Well, I had to put the camera down because we ended up denting the rim and that let air out of the tyre, so we had to roll it back down, change the spare, and then pretty much by that time everyone had to go home anyway because we'd already been out here for a couple hours. The boys have gone home now, but I'm just going to chill around for a sec and give you guys a bit of a review on how the kit went today and my overall thoughts of the installation and how it runs. So basically, as I've said before, the installation of the kit is a super easy kit to install, hence the name. I had no dramas with it, and then after yesterday tuning it all up and everything, it was pretty much all tight as well, so that was a good job on my end, I guess. Just make sure when you guys install it yourselves, or if you get someone else to do it, that you double check everything's tight and you do that tune up after the 1000 Ks. So today, as the first clip you saw, we were going up quite a bit of a bumpy road. There was a fair bit of that to go after it, and then you guys would have just seen a few clips of sort of flexing it down a few tracks, testing how it works, and putting quite a bit of load and strain on the actual suspension and on these spacer blocks. So ride quality today has actually been really good in terms of flexing and stuff like that. Obviously the front doesn't go crazy, but the rear does tuck quite a lot, which is great. And we were doing quite a bit of three-wheeling and stuff today. The first track we went down straight up was pretty, I guess, you know, up and down whoop section, stuff like that. I wasn't prepared for it, so I didn't have the camera out, but it ended up being quite a three-wheel sort of track, which was quite fun and a bit daunting straight off the bat. So we put quite a bit of strain and tension on the SuperPro Easy Lift Kit today, and working my suspension as well. My suspension could handle it, that's fine, but I really wanted to test how the Easy Lift Kit went with putting all that pressure on just like one or two wheels, when the whole weight of the car is really forcing down on those wheels. I think it held up great. I couldn't hear any pops, bangs or squeals or anything going on with the kit as going over bumps and things like that. We also went over a few corrugations and things today, so the kit wasn't bouncing around. I couldn't hear any bolts loosening or anything like that, you know, that rattling noise. Couldn't hear any of that, so that is really good. I like it to stay solid, and hopefully it'll stay solid like that forever. Eventually I'd probably try and do maybe a tune up of bolts and things and make sure everything's still tight after like 12 months, and maybe do it every 12 months or something like that. So my final opinion of the Easy Lift Kit is that it's great. It's so worth it for the price you pay and the gains of just more fun and the clearance and stuff like that that you get. I think it is great. I would happily pay double for this kit, and that's pretty much what I actually expected them to be before doing any research on the kit. So when I found out they were only like, I think it's under $300 for this full kit, and maybe, you know, maybe a day of your time to install it. So if you guys are watching this video because you're thinking about getting this kit, I would highly recommend it. I've already recommended it to a few of my friends and family that are thinking about doing it. And for the price you pay, it's a no-brainer really. And also, if you are thinking about getting the kit, use the code KP10. I'll put it in the description for you anyway, but you will save 10% on any suspension products on the SuperPro or Fulcrum suspension website. So again, I'm going to save you guys a bit of money by going and getting this kit. I think it's already cheap enough, but you know, a saving's a saving. Thanks again to SuperPro for sending me out this lift kit. I had a great time today hanging out with the guys and doing some four-wheel driving. I hope you guys are keen on watching these sorts of videos where we're out testing out the products and having some fun in the bush. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you leave a like and a comment if you want to see some more of this type of content. We had a great time today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for some more episodes coming up in the future. I'm definitely keen to get a few more mods on the truck. I've got a couple sitting at home waiting for me, just needed the time to get them on. But anyway, hope you guys are liking the truck so far, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.